Welcome to our webinar on the top 10 free tools and tips for SEO. This is sort of our introductory session. How does search engine optimization work? What are some basic concepts that a small business marketer would need to understand? And some highlights of some of the most useful tools that are out there in the ecosystem for you to use. Here's our obligatory copyright. Yay, shout out to the lawyers. Please read that. So what are we going to do? We're going to explain how you get to the top of Google searches. Of course, that's the layman's definition of SEO. You're a dog boarder in Dallas, Texas, and somebody types in dog boarding. You want to show at the top, or you have the latest and greatest industrial fan product, and they type in industrial fan, and you want to show up at the top of Google, look good, get the click, and go from there. All of our classes, we also have an SEO workbook on Amazon, as well as a very new social media workbook. Those are hands-on with worksheets. Our whole goal is to make it very practical, very how-to oriented as opposed to sort of pie in the sky. So we're going to kick off. We're going to start about our free tools and tips. We're going to start with sort of the most fun stuff in the high-level agenda. We're going to talk a little bit about attitude. Noelle and I are just back from Content Marketing World, which was in Cleveland, and we really enjoyed the conference. However, at all these conferences, there's sort of a mix of like super hype, like you have to be doing it. Oh my gosh, if you're not doing content marketing, you're being left behind. Be afraid, be very afraid, freak out. And then sort of some technical sessions about, you need to know the minutia, yada, yada, yada. And it can be very intimidating to people. And what do? They just kind of curl up in a fetal position, analysis paralysis, and they just don't do anything. And I want to get you a little bit motivated that you realize if you have a positive attitude, don't be intimidated. This is not rocket science. It's something that mere mortals can do. Then we're going to dive into tools. We'll talk a little about us and our training and all that fun stuff. Then we'll talk some more about tools. We're going to kind of end up with you can do it. And I hope by the end of the presentation, you're on the top of your desk there like Norma Ray, and you're just so excited. You're like, yes, we can actually impact our online marketing on Google and Bing. So let's talk a little bit about attitude as we get started. And sort of SEO, search engine optimization, it's really hard. That's some way that people think about it. There's certainly a huge nerd community that wants to make you believe that it's just impossible unless you have a PhD in computer science from Carnegie Mellon. I want you to think about it that, it is hard in some ways, but it's also really easy. And one way to think about that is like running a marathon, right? Is it hard to run a marathon? It is absolutely difficult to run a marathon. Is it conceptually difficult? No, just run faster than the other people, right? Just train a little bit harder. So this idea that something is difficult doesn't necessarily mean it's conceptually really difficult. In SEO, a lot of your success is just discipline. I teach a method of how to do this. If you stay with it and you stick with it, you will be able to succeed. It's not conceptually difficult. It's much more discipline oriented in terms of its difficulty. So you want to kind of have that attitude. Now, let's talk about sort of the ultimate goal of why we're doing this. So we want to get to the top of Google, hip, hip, hooray. But what we want to understand is it's sort of a game, and we want to sort of understand what's going on there. We want to get people to our website. We usually want a sales lead or a sale. So let's pop over here to Google, and let's just sort of do some searches as we get started. And I'm sort of a person who, I really like to make this simple, so I like to sort of start with the very basic stuff. So we'll just take one of my favorite searches when I teach the class. Let's take motorcycle insurance. Now you'll notice up here at the top right, my beautiful picture with my fading hairline. I have my settings to no personalization, which is kind of hard to do. You want to make your settings non-personalized, or there's a little globe that'll appear here that'll show hide personalized results, because Google will personalize your results, and you want to look at the world kind of like a consumer, like your average customer from the outside in. So make sure that you're not personalizing your results. I have my default set that way. Now let's do that search for motorcycle insurance, and let's sort of take a peek and let's sort of get the lay of the Google landscape here. Okay, so we have our search query, and you want to be very basic. SEO is something that if you just do the basics right, you'll really succeed. You do not have to be, this incredible rocket scientist. So query, motorcycle insurance, write a note down, got to know your keywords, right? Is it motorcycle insurance? Is it motorcycle insurance quote? Is it motorbike insurance? Is it Harley Davidson insurance, right? Is it insurance agent? You have to know the keywords in a very systematic and focused way. We have ads top left, top right. Let's face reality here. A lot of people ignore the ads, right? We teach class on AdWords. There's a lot of good stuff in AdWords, but the reality is most people heavily ignore ads. We have our top 3 results here, 1, 2, 3. Now this is very interesting. This is localization. I actually have my location set to Hershey, Pennsylvania because I was working with a client yesterday. There's a lot of localization. You'll see different results in Hershey, Pennsylvania than you would in San Francisco, California. Note to self, you got to think about local across a whole bunch of searches. We have gold, silver, bronze in our sort of normal organic searches. Now let's look at our gold medalist, Progressive Insurance. I'm going to right click and open that up and just sort of start to think, what do I want to achieve, and then back into what you need to know and how you need to do it. All right, so this is our gold medalist. Now, make some notes. Be a Google detective. Don't believe all the nonsense that you read on the blogosphere, such as just write good content or it's just don't worry about it. No, 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 no. You want to be very systematic and understand, and you can see from the winners what they do. Now, first and foremost, they have an action right in the middle of the page, right? They know exactly what they want you, the human, to do, which is say, wow, I want to be like that super cool, guy and gal on that motorcycle, and I want to get my quote and get started. Notice how the action for the humans is at the top of the page with the image. So they've got to the top of Google, they know their keyword, they've got you to click, they know what they want you, the human, to do. Now let's go down a little bit on the page and Control F as in Frank and type in the word motorcycle. And I want you to just notice all that text and notice how they say motorcycle insurance policy, motorcycle insurance coverage. You'll read a lot of blather on the blogosphere that says just write good content. Yes, you have to write good content, but you also have to optimize that content with keywords to perform in terms of SEO. So don't believe what you read. Go and do your searches. Okay, now let's do a very different search. Let's do a search for pizza. Notice how this screen is very different. We have ads. Notice this guy in the middle. That's called the snack pack. That sort of a nerd word for the Google local system. That's different, and that's going to be optimized for Hershey, Pennsylvania, because I've set my location to Hershey. So in certain types of searches, you see different types of items showing up, and you want to sort of pay attention to that and realize, guess what? This is a game. This is a game, and you can manipulate the game. You want to win the game. There's a whole bunch of series of things that happen. Don't believe for a moment that it's just spontaneous. It's not spontaneous. It's a ruthless competition to get to the top. And there's 2 sorts of people. People who understand it's a game and play it to win, and the sort of sad people who just believe the propaganda that there's nothing you can do. All right, now let's talk a little bit about strategy, and we're going to go through tools systematically. I know we want to dive into the tools, but I'm kind of like that gym coach or that fitness person, and you walk into 24-hour fitness and you're like me and you're totally out of shape, and you see all those machines and all those incredibly buffed people with their 6-pack abs, and they just look so awesome, and you're completely intimidated and freaked out, right? You don't want to just walk up to the machines and start exercising. First of all, you'll hurt yourself. Second of all, you'll look really ridiculous to the people with the 6-pack abs. So you want to have some strategy before you dive in and start looking at tools. Okay, so I teach a method, and I want you to have some strategy. In my method and my strategy in my books, guess what? They all work together. So we're going to look at keywords. Got to know our keywords. We're going to look at some tools for page tags. We got to know how to talk to Google, where to put those keywords in what places, how to write good content. We're going to talk about links and link building. We're going to talk about content marketing, blogs, press releases, anchor content. We're going to talk about being Google friendly through things like Webmaster Tools. Then we're going to shift to measuring our rank and Google Analytics. So there's a method to this madness, and there's tools for each one. I also teach classes in AdWords, different game, different rules, different strategies, and social media, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, etc. So you want to think about these things as games. You want to dive in. You want to put them into pieces. All right, so let's buckle our seatbelts. If you don't have a seatbelt, you can just pretend right now that you're buckling your seatbelt so that your other people in your office think you're kind of weird. So buckle your seatbelts. We're going to dive into our tools, our tips, and let's sort of look at them. Let's get started. Let's get excited. So number 1 free tool I've already mentioned, right? You got to know your keywords. You've got to know what do your consumer, what does your customer type into Google, and you got to be really systematic about this. Systematic. Now, I have all the links here. You'll get a little email from me. They'll probably be in the spam filter next to your Viagra emails. You'll get an email from me. You want to check that email. It's going to have a link to the materials, all the links that I'm using. So you don't have to freak out. You'll be able to go back and look at these tools. All right, so let's look at Uber Suggest here. This is a really wonderful tool. It's really one of my absolute favorites. It used to be built on Google, but Google is kind of mean, and they took away what's called the API, and so now it's built on Bing queries. All right, so let's just take motorcycle, and let's just put in motorcycle, and let's hit Suggest. And what this tool does is it's a way to put in any of your keywords, and you can start to see what do people search for in a kind of a broad way. This is like an idea generator. So you can see that's very broad, isn't it? You've got motorcycle helmets, motorcycle superstore, motorcycle insurance. And let's say we sell motorcycle insurance, we're probably going to realize we want to drill down a bit. We're going to do motorcycle insurance, Suggest. Okay, now let's look at what people type. Motorcycle insurance cost, quotes, rates, companies. Now let's see, oh yeah, that's definitely somebody ready to buy, right? Quotes, cost, rates, right? New York, that's probably I'm looking for an agent. Motorcycle insurance companies, calculated comparison. You can hit click, click, click. It'll put them over here. You can hit get. You can copy those onto your keyword worksheet. You can start to use this tool to brainstorm what keywords you might want to use. So it's a great kind of brainstorm tool. It's built now on Bing Suggest because Google is a little naughty and they don't show you everything. I want to show you just really quickly on Google. This is built off of this tool, motorcycle insurance. This is called Google Suggest. Now you can put in here motorcycle insurance A, B, C, get ideas for your keywords. You can go over here to the beginning, proof that Jason has no life, A, B, C, and you can see guess what? People search for cheap motorcycle insurance. Shocking, right? They do not search for most expensive motorcycle insurance. So Google Suggest, Uber Suggest, that's my first tool that I really like. I really use it in a good way. Generate that keyword list, get those keywords out there. Let's talk about 1B. I call this tool 1B for B as in bad. It's the Google tool. It's the official Google Keyword Planner. Let's be honest, the user interface is really a challenge. They have not done a good job of making this tool easy to use, but very important tool. So let me open that tool up. Now this tool, you have to have an AdWords account to use this tool. You have to put in a credit card. You do not actually have to buy anything, but you do need to put in a credit card to make this tool work. And I have a complete video on YouTube. If you go to YouTube and put in how to use Keyword Planner, guess whose video is number one? Mine. You can watch the video. Now let's take an example. Let's put in knee pain. Like let's say I'm a knee surgeon and oh my gosh, my knee's hurting, right? That's your customer, right? So, oh, their knee is hurting. What do they put into Google? Knee pain, right? You've got to brainstorm. Is it knee pain? Is it knee surgery? Is it orthopedic surgeon? You've got to get those keywords. This tool gives you volume and value information. So let's just take knee pain. I want to just show you. You can hover here. Sometimes it'll show if you hover. Sometimes you have to click through. Knee pain, guess what? Knee pain from running, 2,400 searches a month in the United States. So you're starting to see, oh, what a great idea for a blog post. Knee pain from running, right? There's not that much knee pain from backgammon, not a big search. Knee pain from running, big search. So you start to see the derivative related keywords here. And it groups them in there and it gives you some other ideas, that you might not have thought about, stiff knee, leg knee, etc. Okay, now over here on the left, keyword options, closely related, save. Right, now just a heads up, I'm not sort of my soapbox, right? I get so frustrated with these webinars that don't show you how to do anything, right? I want to show you how to do SEO as opposed to just pontificate about how marvelous it is, right? So I try to show you tools, show you tactics, show you real things that you can actually implement. And you want to know how to use this tool to research your customer base. So we're going to change that to only show closely related ideas. Click to keyword ideas. Now, Google is a little naughty, right? They're just naughty. Let's just face it. That's how they are. Go over here to columns. Oh, Google, right? They hide some of the best features on their tools, and you have to just randomly click, click, click. That's how I learn. I'm not that smart. I just click, 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 and that's how I learn where these hidden goodies are. You want to turn on suggested bid. That's a very important field. So you want to go over here to columns, turn on suggested bid. That used to be default. They now no longer show that. You have to look for that and know that it's valuable. And I'll show why it's valuable in here in just a second. All right, so knee pain, ouch, my knee hurts. Let's put in knee surgery. Let's put in knee surgeon. Now think about the progression that people make when they have a problem, right? Knee pain, my knee hurts. Knee surgery, I've got to have surgery. This bum knee, I got to fix it. Knee surgeon, I need to find the person who will do the surgery, right? From an educational search to a transactional search. This tool helps you figure out what those patterns are. And notice here in the middle of the screen here, notice how for knee surgery, the bid, this is what people are willing to pay on AdWords, is $4.30. The bid for knee pain is $2. So the community of advertisers, God bless them, they're spending money on Google, they are telling us where the money is. So I want to use this tool to identify my keywords, to look for the high value keywords, because I would much rather optimize on knee surgery. Those people are ready to buy. Knee pain, they just want an aspirin, right? I'm looking for the money. It's a whole Tom Cruise, show me the money. Here's your volume, here's your value, here's your ideas. So this tool is really awesome, but you've got to learn how to use it. It's got kind of a sad user interface. It's a challenge. That's what I teach you, is how to use, just like you go to the gym, right? I'm going to teach you how to use this without hurting yourself, and I'm going to show you some hidden buttons in how to use that tool. So tip number one, you gotta know your keywords. I work with a lot of different companies. This is one of the very first things that we do, build a keyword worksheet. I guarantee you that most of you in your companies, we don't really know our keywords, kind of, sort of, maybe. No, that does not work. Mom, I want to go to the Olympics. What sport? I don't know. I can't help you. Mom, I want to go to the Olympics. What sport? Pole vaulting. I can tell you what you need to do. So you got to know your keywords in a very systematic, defined way. And I bet you dollars to donuts that most of you do not. So tip number one, you've got to do that. This is a little blurb about me. Yes, I'm super smart. Check me out, blah, blah, blah. All right, learn page tags. Okay, so let's talk about talking to Google, right? If you were going to go to Italy, you would want to learn how to order a cup of coffee. Now, do you have to learn how to speak Italian? No. It'll make your trip a lot more pleasant if you learn a little Italian. Do you need to be fluent? No, but you need to know how to speak a little Italian. It's the same with SEO. Do you have to be fluent in HTML? No, you got to know to speak a little Google. You got to learn the tag structure of pages. So number two, tool-ish sort of thing, is the Google SEO Starter Guide. And I'm going to send you a link for that. Once you have that, let me go over here and go to my desktop. It's over here. So this is Google's only official guide to search engine optimization. Does it tell you everything? No, but it tells you very basic tag optimization. And it says, hey guys, you got to create great tags. You got to put your keywords into your title tag, your header tag, your image alt, etc. So this document is very, very important because it's going to tell you what to do. It's very important, and you want to download it. It also functions as an amazing sleep aid. So if you can't sleep, you can pull it out and you can learn how it works. Now let's look at a related tool here, which is the SEO Meta Tag Analyzer. So you want to be able to speak Google and have good tag structure. All right, so let's pop over here. And I know I go too fast. I've already had my caffeine. Just how it is, right? So let's do motorcycle insurance, right? Now let's look at Progressive. Just keep it real simple. So this is our gold medalist for motorcycle insurance. Progressive, big company, lots of money, everybody knows Flow, yada, yada, right? Lots of money, really do a good job. Really do a good job at their SEO. Now let's right-click, view page source. Don't freak out, okay? This is Googleese, This is HTML. This is talking to Google. And I just want to draw your attention. Let me zoom in here a little bit because I know it's small. I'm at that stage where I need big, big type, right? Because I'm going blind. See that right there? That is your open title, closed title. And notice what they put in here, motorcycle insurance quotes. So the tag structure of the page is talking to Google through tags. So they're talking to Google through those tags. Now let's look at this tool. Let's go over to this tool from SEO Centro. So it's, God bless the nerds of the world. They build some really cool free tools, and those are in my toolbox. Hopefully the site is up. If not, we'll have to skip it. I just told you you were nice, little SEO nerd. Turn your tool on. If that doesn't open, we'll come back to it. All right, so what I was gonna, oh really? Do you hate that? It goes down. All right, so let me show you, I'll just show you that this tool, when it goes up, you can put a site in it and it'll analyze the tag structure. So I'll just show you how to do it manually. So I'm gonna go Control F as in Frank, and I'm gonna type in title. Let me zoom in so it's a little bit easier for you guys to see. Just a really quick way to see tag structure. Title, motorcycle insurance. Okay, let's put in here H1, motorcycle insurance. Do you see that? Okay, now let's go and just look, let's put in motorcycle, and I just want to show you that the word motorcycle is in certain strategic tag locations. So see this right here, that's an anchor tag, and see that the target is motorcycle insurance coverage. Now let's back up over here to the visual for humans. What we're talking about here is they're saying blah, 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 motorcycle insurance coverage, and that's a link down to a page. So in the HTML, which is the Google speak, right, they've talked to Google, they've communicated to Google through their tag structure. So you've got to know a little bit of tag structure. That tool, which is down this morning, that tool will help you analyze where your keywords are inside of your structure. So a good exercise for you is take a page that you're trying to optimize, right-click, view page source, Control F, put in the keyword or a piece of the keyword that you're optimizing for, go and look at the HTML. If you don't see your keyword in that title tag, starting with the most important, Houston, we got a problem. So you got to know tag structure to even be in the race for SEO. So that's your sort of most important little takeaway there. Got to speak a little Google. This tool, unfortunately, is down this morning, but it's a great tool that'll sort of do some of the hard work for you. Also, just FYI, in the tool book, I have a whole section on page tags, and there's alternative tools in there as well. We just don't have time to get those. All right, so number 3 tool, as we kind of zip through our lightning tour here of things to do, things to think about, I want to give you a framework, a conceptual map, right? Oh, I want to get physically fit. Well, let's think about what you need to do. Stop going to McDonald's. Hello, right? Start eating, kale. Aren't you sick of kale? Kale, 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 kale. Eat some kale, right? Step 2, go to the gym, right? Get on the treadmill, start doing some aerobics, right? You have to think systematically in little pieces as to what you want to do in order to achieve that goal. SEO is the same. Know your keywords, step 1. Step 2, understand tag structure and content, write some good content. Step 3, you got to start to think of external links. Links are like votes. You have to get votes. You have to get other sites to link to you. So my number 3 tool here is called Ahrefs. Only a nerd would like that name, right? That's named after the tag itself, the anchor tag, right? All right, so let's look over at this tool. And all these tools have a free component and sometimes a paid component. This one is free with a paid component. I have the paid account. For the free, you can do kind of about a third of the research. All right, so let's go into this tool. And I just want to show you for a second. Let's go to 21st.com and let's go to progressive.com. And let that load there for you over the beautiful internet. I'm watching it load across the internet. There she is. All right, okay, so we have Progressive. What do? They sell insurance. They sell car insurance. 21st, what do? They sell car insurance and other insurance products, okay? 21st, I love 21st. Why? Because they have a terrible, horrible, rotten, no good SEO strategy. They just don't understand it. They do a horrible job at it. Progressive, super awesome strategy. So you can learn from Progressive what to do. You can learn from 21st what not to do. Now, let's talk about links. Okay, so let's go into this link tool, and I'm going to click on Site Explorer. And this tool is like a vote counter. It's like you could go and you could poll the people in Iowa, like, hey, who supports Donald Trump? Who supports Carly Fiorina, right? It's a tool to see where the votes are, where the polling is. 21st, Progressive, they're competing against each other to get those links. And Google is like the little vote counter. It says, oh, look, Progressive, more links, better website, higher position. So you want to have some tools to look laser into your competitors. Who is linking to your competitor? What are they doing? What's their strategy in terms of getting votes? Like Donald Trump's strategy is to be insane and be provocative, right? Carly Fiorina's strategy is to be very moderate and sophisticated and intelligent, right? That's her strategy. They have different strategies. All right, now let's put in here progressive.com, and I'm going to select over here. They have just kind of everything, and I'm going to hit search and let that load there. So this is a tool, and it goes back and it looks at all the links coming into Progressive. And I want you to see here, it has 18.3 thousand domains pointing to the website. That's a lot, right? That means somebody at Progressive, more than one person, has done a lot of work to get votes. You can also look down here and it will tell you who's linking to your site or your competitor site. And again, some of this is for free. You can kind of get a third of it. For paid, you can get more. Why is it being so slow today? There it goes. Okay, so it'll tell you who's linking to Progressive, right? You can see that, and it'll tell you the referring domains. It gives all this gory detail information, which I teach in the class. But just get that concept. Wow, Progressive, 18,000 votes. Okay, now let's go back and let's put in 21st.com, right, which is the competitor, 21st.com, and we're going to hit search. So imagine putting your own website into this tool, putting a competitor into this website. So see there, they have 16,000, 1.6, I think for Progressive is like 3,000. So they have significantly less links. Their domain rating is a 57. That's like a credit score. So 57, they don't have as many links as Progressive. Progressive has more. This is one of the reasons Progressive radically outperforms them in terms of SEO. What's your takeaway, right? You got to understand who links to who. You got to have a strategy for nurturing, growing, consolidating, getting those inbound links. That's called link building. So if you're taking notes, like step 3, link building, we got to understand how it works, right? It's playing a game, got to understand how it works. And number 2, we got to have a strategy to go out and get them. Okay, that's your strategy. Now notice that says 57. That's kind of a end of the row. That's your score. Let's go back and just put in Progressive really quick because I can't remember what their score was. So 21st is a 57. Progressive is a 68. That's like a credit score. It's the difference between a 700 credit score and a 500 credit score. Big deal. So this tool, vote counter, see how your competitors are getting links. Start to think about it as almost like an election. And you went to get links, you need to think about it systematically. Very important, top 3. Number 4, content is king. Noelle and I just went to beautiful Cleveland and we were at Content Marketing World, right? This is the new hype. Oh my gosh, freak out if you're not doing content, you're crazy, right? Freak, be afraid, be very afraid, you must write content. That's true. You need content. Content is king. However, you got to have content that's well structured. You have to have content with links. There's more to it than just content. But I want to show you a little fun tool for content generation because you got to start thinking, gosh, we got to write blog posts. Oh my goodness, what am I going to blog on? Our company is so boring. Oh no, what could I possibly write about, right? This is a challenge, right? Let's face it, most of us work at boring companies. It's difficult to think of something lively and fun to write, especially when you're trying to turn out 3 or 4 blog posts at least per month. For a small business, I recommend that you do 4 blog posts per month. That's part of my method. 4. We're talking 1 a week here. Is that a lot? No. That's like saying go to the gym 4 times a month. Can you do that? Can you go for 30 minutes? That's the commitment. All right, now when you're writing your blog post, right, you got to have some snazzy content. You got to think about the pizzazz, right? The pizzazz of what you're going to write. So let's look at this tool and let's put in here like dog toys. Let's say we're a dog toy manufacturer and we've got to write some blog posts about dog toys. So you put in your keyword and you hit this little button here and it gives you sort of some funny ideas for a headline and also some ideas for your content, right? How Tim Gunn makes dog toys work. 20 ways dog toys can make you rich. That could be interesting, right? You could write a post about, well, it'll keep you healthier and you'll live longer. You'll have a better attitude. And if you have a better attitude, you can make more money. You'll have some innovation, yada, yada, yada. So it's a way to help you get those creative juices flowing and think of what you're going to blog on. So we have a client who I really like, and they do Brahmin bowls. They sell Brahmin catalog. So let's put in Brahmin bowls. And what could be some blog ideas? That's kind of a funny one, right? 51st, why the next 10 years will smash. That's interesting, right? Our industry is changing. There you go. So this is a way to help you brainstorm ideas specifically with respect to a blog post. Just tip of the iceberg there, but I really like that because you don't want to stare at that blank piece of paper. I always tell my 12-year-old funny things like, remember paper, right? It's all digital now. You don't want to stare at that blank computer screen. Oh my goodness, what am I going to write about? This is a way, okay, well, I know my keyword is Brahmin bulls. Let me get some ideas. Oh, now I have a blog idea. Boom, I can write a blog idea. Content is king. Let's talk about number 5. You've got to get fresh content. The world is going fresh. It's going social. It's faster. It's Twitter. It's Instagram. It's LinkedIn. It's gotta get fresh new stuff. So you got to look for fresh content and, little asterisk here, you have to start to think about what's getting shared because Google is paying attention to social sharing. What's getting shared? What's new? What's hot? What's exciting? You got to get into that. So BuzzSumo is a super awesome, wonderful tool. They have a free and a paid version. A lot of these guys have that sort of called a freemium model. I'm going to log in here to my paid account. And again, for free, you can do, I think, 3 searches a day, and you can get pretty good information, maybe, again, top third of the iceberg. So for free, you get pretty good information. For, I think it's $99 a month, you can have a paid account. And I just want to show you some cool features. So let's say Brahmin bulls. We're going to write on Brahmin bulls. What kind of content do people like? Let's do Brahmin bulls. Let's do search. This tells us in the last year, so let's look at this, zoom in here. So oh, I hate that yellow. I don't want that yellow. That's too hard to see. Brahmin bulls, total shares, right? So this gives me a sense. Now this isn't Rihanna video, cat video. It's not a ton of shares, but it tells you, right? Polled red Brahmin bull. That's Craigslist, right? Get some shares. Polled, for those of you who are not in the Brahmin industry, right? You probably don't know this, but I do. Polled is they breed them so they don't have horns. And that's a big trend in the world of Brahmin bulls. So if you're ever on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and they ask you what polled cattle are and you know it's hornless, I expect a check. So this tells you that's a topic that people are sort of talking about. So you can have an idea from BuzzSumo. Now that's a very, very specific sort of thing. So let's put in something even much more critical. Let's put in Miley Cyrus and let's see what's buzzing about Miley Cyrus. So she's gonna blow Brahmin bulls out of the water, right? 400,000 shares on some silly content, right? 14 images of her shockingly unforgettable MVMA performance, 299,000. So, you know, not everything's shared the same rate, right? I get that. Miley Cyrus is way more interesting than Brahmin cattle, right? But this tool gives you a sense of what's being shared. Now, what else can you do? You can put your own domain in here. So let me put my domain in here, and it'll tell you what's being shared on your own domain. And so I can see, like, this was our newsletter, this is some Twitter tools, here's a review copy of my book. I can start to see what kind of content do people like, and guess what? Google is paying attention to that, and that's important for content marketing, for social, and for helping you with SEO. So you've got to think about your social. Got to think about your social. Top tool number 6. Google wants to be loved. right? Let's face it, right? I'm a huge Big Bang Theory person. Noelle sometimes tells me I'm a little bit like Sheldon, right? So all of us who have kind of an engineering personality, right? We're a little socially awkward at times, right? We want people to like us, even though we don't understand exactly how that game is played. Google, engineering company, same idea. You need to join their search console, which is the new word for webmaster tools. So let's just pop over there really quick. In the class on website structure, I explain how to set these things up and sort of some of the things you can get. So let me just go down here to, where's our corporate site? Maybe it's not connected. There it is. Okay, so it's going to give us some information. So it's complaining a little bit. We have some legacy content, which is not phone friendly. Mickey Mouse Club, you get some insider information. Google saying, hey, Jason, you've got some pages which do not look good on the phone, dude. You've got to fix those, right? So it's annoyingly telling me that I have legacy content that's not mobile friendly, right? But I also realize, hey, if Google is complaining about mobile friendly here, being mobile friendly is very important to Google. It tells us that. Over here, Google Index, it'll tell us content keywords. What does it think your website is about? Feedback. If you don't see your keywords here, you have a problem, right? Google isn't understanding what your website is about. So Webmaster Tools is I call it Mickey Mouse Club, right? Because it gives you inside information on how Google is perceiving your site. It'll also tell you how frequently you're being crawled. Look at this fetches Google. Fetches Google. Now what's going on here? Fetches Google. Let's just talk about just some cool things that most people don't know, right? Because they're not paying attention. Let's go down here and let's, I just wrote a blog post, how to write a review on Google, right? I just wrote a blog post, how to write a review on Google, because it's a little bit difficult. Now let's do Control C, site colon. Oh, that's my other one. Let's do site colon, and I just want to show you, oh, it's in Google. I was going to say, if it's not in Google, I'm too good for my own britches, right? If it's not in Google, what you can do is paste content that Google has not discovered into this tool and hit fetch. And then Google's going to fetch it. Oh, it's a little bit mad because of the HTTPS, but whatever. Submit to index. Crawl everything. So this is a way that you can get Google to find your content and pull your content. Okay, so Webmaster Tools, information, inside information on how Google perceives your site. Now it's a little bit of technical stuff. You got to know where are the interesting buttons. Like I bet many of you didn't know you can use Webmaster Tools to tell Google to index a page, new blog post that it has not discovered. Just really good, a lot of little tricks in there to be Google friendly. So that's my number 6. Google Search Console. The naming conventions at Google make a person insane, right? So it used to be called Webmaster Tools. Now it's both Search Console. It's like insane, but this is the tool. All right, let's talk a little bit about 7. Local, 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 local. So many searches these days are localized. You got to know how to use your local optimization. Got to go local. What are we talking about? We're talking about you go to Google and you put in something you need, plumber, right? And we're all dumbing down, right? Just me need plumber. Google tells you what's near. Right? What's my location here? Hershey. Let me change my location to Fremont. Plumber. It's telling me who's nearby to me. It's giving me Yelp, right? That's localization. I see different results for plumber in Fremont, California than I do in Hershey, Pennsylvania. You got to know how to go local, of which one of the best things to do is to claim all of your local listings across the internet. So let me sort of show you how to do this with Yext. So Yext is a paid service, but they give away stuff for free. So I'm just going to show you Just Falafel, which is a falafel joint here in the beloved city of Fremont. So let's say I worked at Just Falafel. It's kind of interesting. They have a store in Fremont and they have a store in Dubai. I talked to them a while back and I was like, really? Like, yes, we have 2 stores, one in Dubai and one in Fremont. I was like, that's different. So let's put their phone in here. And you don't have to put your name in here. I'll just put in here Mickey Mouse. It doesn't matter. And I'm going to hit Find My Listing. So this tool is going to go out onto all these local places, Yelp and Bing and MapQuest and Super Pages, and it's going to find all of your listings. And then you can pop over to the listing, and you have some homework to do here. You can then claim this, optimize it, whatever. So you can, for sweat equity for free, right? How do I get I don't care? I don't care about my business scan, right? So for sweat equity for free, you can go and find all your listings. You have some homework, claim them, optimize them, or guess what? You can pay Yext about $500 and they'll do it for you, or they'll give you a tool. But your local is incredibly important for many companies, and you want to know where your listings are. Yext is a great tool for that. Number 8 is press releases. I'll just show this really briefly. Press releases have been very controversial in SEO. They used to be really awesome, then Google kind of trashed them. They're still really good if you know how to create them. There are tricks to creating them, which I'm not going to share with you. But if you take the class, I teach you ways to work with press releases, and I have a nice tool for press releases that if you've never written a press release, this tool from Duct Tape Marketing will guide you through. Put this in, put this in, put this in, and it'll help you create a press release about your business. And what you want to do is syndicate them. So we're constantly sending out press releases, and then these press releases, sort of shameless PR stuff, we're sending out. They're feeding back into our website, yada, yada, yada. We're using press releases to influence the buzz on the internet around our company. Not so much for humans, but for Google. So press release SEO is a tactic that is helpful, number 8. But watch out, Penguin, Panda, you got to know what you're doing. You can get in trouble with some of the algorithms. I can say algorithms. All right, number 9, measure our rank. We got to know how to measure our rank. 9th tool, Rank Checker. Now there are paid tools that do this, free tools that do this. Rank Checker is the best free tool. It's from a guy up in Oakland. God bless him. He makes the best free tool. I've got his website there. You can check out his website. Super smart. This tool only runs on Firefox. It's called Rank Checker. So you're going to go to SEObook.com, and you have to sign up for a free account, whatever. This is the tool you want right there, Rank Checker. So you're going to go to SEObook.com. Of course, I have the link for you. You download this Rank Checker tool for free. And then once it's set up, tool, Rank Checker, run. Now I'm going to open, I just ran one this morning just to make sure it was working. So I can put in a domain, Geico Progressive 21st. I can put in my keywords. It'll tell me my rank on Google. So you see that right there. Now let's run it. Let's start. So what is this doing? This is going out and checking. Okay, for the word car insurance, Geico is in position 7. For the word phrase car insurance quote, it's number 1. Progressive is 4 and 5. Look at how sad and pathetic 21st is. 24 and 17. So this is like a way to kind of count who's winning, right? The race. Geico right now is in 7 and 1. Progressive is 4 and 5. 21st is really losing. So this is a tool you can put yourself in, your keywords, put in a competitor, your keywords. You can very systematically see how you perform versus competition. Think of it like a game. Do you want to win? Yes, you want to win. What is winning? Positions 1, 2, 3, 60 to 70% of click value. Top 10, at least get on page 1. So you want to measure your rank systematically, and that becomes part of your metrics, as a good SEO. Hey, I want to go to the gym. I want to lose weight. I want to run a marathon. Got to have some metrics. How much do I weigh today? How much can I bench press today? How far can I run today without stopping? Work out for 2 weeks. Am I improving? Got to measure your rank to know where you are today, where you are in the future. You got to measure your rank today versus your competition. Who's better than you? So Rank Checker, very important tool, number 9. Number 10, you got to know some metrics, right? We're not doing this for fun, most of us, right? We're doing this because we have a product, we want to get to Google, when people show up, we want to buy the product, right? Or we're a dentist, we want to show up at Google, get them top, get an inquiry. Yes, I want you to be my dentist, come check me out, right? Sales or sales leads, and there's a process. Know the keywords, optimize, get to the top positions, get the click, get the conversion. So you got to know your metrics. The most important tool for this, Google Analytics. Google Analytics. Now let's all sort of think, Google, right? iPhone, super easy to use. Wunderbar user interface, right? Android's come a long way, but it's not as good as iPhone in terms of user interface, right? Google Analytics, Webmaster Tools, AdWords, really powerful, amazing tools. User interface, it ain't the iPhone, people, right? It's hard to use. It's hard to use. So you want somebody like me, right, who knows how to kind of point out things that you can do in analytics. So let's take a look at analytics. And we spend a whole class on analytics. And I always have people saying, could you do more? Could you do another class? And I'm like, I don't think there's enough coffee in the world for me to do 2 classes on analytics. But I do work with people one-on-one and I can help them and all this kind of jazz. But the basic stuff on analytics, I'm going to teach you in the class. So let's go over here and log into analytics. So some very basic things that you want to know about analytics, just sort of in general, it tells you your traffic. We had 6,000 sessions last month or last 30 days, 4,000 users. Now let's go over here and let's just look at a couple interesting things that you may know, you may not know, right? Let's go over to mobile. Let's go to overview. So of those 6,000, right, 5,000 on the desktop, 700 on mobile. Even our site, which is super boring SEO, social media content, almost 12% of traffic on mobile. Let's say somebody goes, gosh, what phone are they using? You can see in analytics, the iPhone, the iPad, the Samsung Galaxy 3, you can see what phones people are using to browse your website. Why is that important? Well, you want to make sure you look good on the iPhone if it's #1, right? So analytics gives you a lot of insight into how users are coming. Look at your locations. Hey, Bob, where do we get most of our content from? United States, 44% of our content. India, 8%. Canada, 6%. What states within the beautiful, wonderful states of America? California, Texas. You can see where we get our accesses from. So in analytics, a lot of that stuff is there. Let's look at user flow. A lot of these things you don't see until you go and, oh yeah, that's interesting. Hey, I would like to know, how do people flow through my website? I want to know how they flow. Look at that. So the starting page, and then I want to click here and I want to see just the traffic that's going through our tutorials page. User flow inside of analytics. Most people don't know that that's even there. Let's go over here. Let's go to search engine optimization queries. If you connect analytics to Webmaster Tools, it'll give you this information. We can see where we're getting most of our clicks from. So not very great data right now. This is sort of what's coming there. Let's go down here to social. Let's go to overview. Wouldn't you like to know what social is giving you the best impact for us? YouTube, right? YouTube. So you can see what social is sending you traffic. Let's go down here. Behavior, site content, landing pages. What pages do people touch first? They touch this page. I can click on this page, which is my AdWords tutorial page. I can see where they go before and after on any page. So I can see the first page. So a lot of cool stuff you can see in here. I'm not going to click on in-page analytics. That would also tell you some great stuff. Let's go to goals, overview. So we can see how many goals were completed, how many people signed up for free classes, webinars, etc. You can see we just did a little email blast. We've got a lot of goal completions in the last 3 or 4 days. So you want to get good at analytics, and this is a super, 1-minute overview to it. Think like a marketer. How am I getting traffic? I want to answer that question. Analytics will tell me that. What do they do on my website even if they don't convert? What do they look at? Where do they hang out? Where do they bounce? Where do they leave from? Where are they coming from? And then who's converting and why? Great data inside of analytics. Is it easy to use? No. It's so hard to use. See this little hat over there? I bet you didn't even know there was a hat over there. Click on the hat and you end up here, and they have a lot of interesting things. See that Analytics Academy? These are lessons on how to use analytics that are hidden behind this little weird hat. Can you get from analytics to Analytics Academy? Of course not. You have to know that you can search for Google Analytics Academy, and then lo and behold, there's an entire website with from Google full of free information on analytics. Now, is that information easy to access inside of analytics? Of course not. You have to have somebody like me to point out, click on that silly looking hat, realize it's called Analytics Academy, Google it, go to it, and now if you really want to learn analytics for free, you can go into Analytics Academy. Why it's not connected? I don't know. I don't know. But that's Google for you, right? So that's why it's so valuable to have a guide to tell you what's going on. So those are our top 10 free tools. Hopefully you didn't fall asleep. Hopefully you're not on Facebook at the same time. You can unbuckle your seatbelts now. Let's talk a little bit about attitude. So Nike, just do it, right? This is not about just learning for learning's sake, right? Just learn. This is also about doing. So I want to motivate you. Yes, you've got to learn it. You've got to learn the rules. You've got to learn how it works. But you've got to go out and do it. And as you do it, you will get better, and you measure, and you're doing, and you're learning, and you're constantly growing. That's the trick to doing this well. It's not you're going to do it perfect day one. You're going to learn, you're going to do, you're going to get better. You're going to constantly be improving. You've got to have to do that. Let's have a little fun here. So I have some funny Easter eggs. Easter eggs are things hidden in the Googleplex, right? Things that you might not know. So we'll just go in here and we'll type into Google, do a barrel roll, and hit enter. And you can try this at home, people. It will flip your screen. I don't think it works on Internet Explorer. You can also type in things like tilt, and it'll tilt the Google screen. You can type in Zerg Rush, and you can play some silly nerd game with the little, and you're supposed to hit these guys as they go, and you get, it's just like you're telling your boss, what are you doing? I am working. I am learning how Google works here. Please do not bother me. So there are some funny things in Google. Shows you Google does have a sense of humor. I have those links for you. Let's talk about sales. Let me sell you. I have a child in college. I need money. All right. So how does this work? You can do it. If you take it, great. If you don't take it, that's fine. It's up to you. 1 hour live webinars. I try to make them fun. I have fun. I try to get you motivated. That's the most important job. I teach a class at Stanford. It's all about motivating, really, when you get down to it. We have question and answer, which we're going to do now. We have the archive video, so you can watch it on your iPad. You can, save it. All the stuff is there for you to go back to. If you're a glutton for punishment, we have little quick quizzes. You can get certified, all that fun stuff. You're going to get my SEO Fitness workbook, which is step-by-step. You get a copy of that, and we work with that. You're going to get the tools workbook. Here is your code and your password for the toolbook. And remember, we're just going to send you an email today. That'll also be a way to get that. So if you have paid attention this long, your code is toolbook14. Let me show you how to get that. So you're going to go to our site. You're going to click on Login, Coupons, Toolbook, Toolbook 14, not 24, 14. And then magically this form appears. You put in your email and your name. And then that's going to get you into the toolbook. So here you can download the toolbook. It's got hundreds of free tools. So again, the steps are login, reference code, toolbook, toolbook 14, and then you'll get your free copy of the amazing toolbook. All right, webinar costs. $295 is the basic class pass. You can add on AdWords, which is how to use AdWords. There's a special class on local search you can add on, and social media for additional fees. Here's our schedule. We're going to start, believe it or not, we're going to start Tuesday. I can't believe it's already September. Let's review what we learned, right? So we're going to start with keywords. How do you figure out the best keywords for your business? We're going to use tools, we're going to use strategy, we're going to really understand. It's a word game. It's like playing Scrabble with Google. You got to understand the way the words work. We're going to build a keyword worksheet. Once we have our keyword worksheet, we're going to go into tag structure. We looked at a tool today which was down, but it'll come up, I'm sure. We're going to learn that tags matter, and we're going to learn some tags are really important. We're going to put our key content in strategic tag locations. We're going to learn to build SEO-friendly content for Google. We're going to learn about links and link building. We're going to learn how to get other people to link to us, why they matter. We're going to learn a little bit about what's called social mentions and Google+, which, believe it or not, is still important. We're going to talk about content marketing, particularly blogs and press releases, a little bit about anchor content. This is sort of your foundation to your content. We're going to talk about website tools, XML sitemaps, some of the more technical, nerdy things you need to do to be Google friendly. Then we're going to transition to measurement. We're going to have rank, measuring our rank, and we'll have a little workshop where we'll kind of go and look at people's sites. We'll talk about making a plan of attack. What do you do first? What do you do second? What do you do third? Then we will wrap it up with a big Google bow, Google Analytics. We'll dive into Google Analytics, at least get our basics down of Google Analytics. So there's a method to my madness: keywords, tags, links, content, website, rank, analytics. So you have a method of how to succeed. If you are a glutton for punishment, if you want to understand AdWords, we teach a class on AdWords. It's 2 sessions. That's how to use AdWords without losing your shirt. And we have classes on social media. If you're taking the social media class, hip hip hooray, I am not kidding you. I just uploaded my new social media workbook yesterday onto Amazon. So you're going to get a brand new workbook on social media. Very excited about that. Super up to date, going through all your social media. Questions? One final thing we do, people have watched us this far, we have to reward you, right? We'll give you a 10% discount. This is, you go tackle your boss and you tell her, we got to do this. We get a 10% discount if we act today. The class starts on Tuesday for $265.50. We can take this online class with this totally insane person, and he's going to teach us how to succeed. So that's your special discount offer. Looks like I am right on time, Noelle, at 10:30. I know it's a ton of information. You're going to get the video. You're going to get the links. If you have questions that we don't get to, send me an email. I'm happy to answer student questions. Again, I want to motivate you, even if you don't take the class, that you can do this if you look at it systematically. It is a very doable, and believe it or not, I actually find it to be fun. So on that note, questions? Noelle's fallen asleep.
Sorry, I was just muted for a sec. Okay, let's see. So first of all, with regards to Google liking fresh content, would you suggest accomplishing this by adding blog posts to your web page or by actually changing your website page content?
Right. So I would say, I mean, that's a good way to think about it. So let's just sort of look at a site. We can look at my personal site, which is sort of optimized for SEO expert San Francisco. So the way to think about it is you're going to have specific anchor content, right? So let me show you here. So I have anchor content, AdWords Expert Witness. So I do a little bit of legal work. If people Google AdWords Expert Witness, I want to show. So I have homepage, one click to a page that's optimized, explaining how I can help if there's a lawsuit in AdWords Expert Witness. Now you can try this at home. You can do the search AdWords Expert Witness, and I'm going to be right at the top of that search. So I'm number 1 for that very focused search. Now go back to your structure. Homepage, one-click link down to define landing pages. That's really anchor content. It does not need to change frequently. So this anchor page doesn't change maybe once every, oops, I went to my partner page. I don't want my partner page. Weird, I got the link wrong. What am I doing here? I'm in the wrong thing. Okay, here we go. So one click down to the anchor page. This content here, I mean, Lord knows I should change it. I should improve it. But hey, it's working. That doesn't change that frequently. Would it be good to change it around? Yeah, that would be good. But sufficient is to write some blog posts. You can see here I write blog posts, press releases. Here's just a press release about a class I'm going to be teaching at Stanford, Continuing Studies on Personal Branding. This is just freshness. So generally, I would say you don't need to change your anchor content, but you do need to blog. Your home page, you do need to update. It's usually sufficient, just a little bit of changes now and then try to have your blogs auto-populate onto your home page. Freshness signal to Google. This site has new content, this site has new content, this site has new content. So more of the blogging is the answer to that one.
Okay, now I do have a student that they took your class a couple of years back, and because of course the information, a lot of it has changed and been updated, they want to retake the class. Do they get to retake the class for a discount?
Yes, so if you're a former student, we have a special discount, which we don't give to the general public. So if you've taken the class before, just send us an email and we have a special discount for people who took the class previously. Because we recognize, it does change, but it's, it's 80% the same type of thing. So yes, there's a special discount for returning students. Just send us an email.
Okay. Now let's see. If you have several pictures or videos, should you upload them to your website all at the same time or slowly upload them over a span of time?
Oh, that actually goes also for your blog content. So just think about it from Google's perspective, right? So there's two pizza restaurants and they're competing, right? They want to be #1 for pizza in San Francisco. Google's just a machine. It looks at those web pages, right? It goes to website one. Website one has 15 new blog posts today. And then it comes back a month, nothing. Another month, nothing. Another month, nothing. So it thinks, oh, these guys update in September only. They have a big blast in September. I'm going to kind of reward them maybe in September. Just that's kind of the only time they seem to be alive. Website 2 has a blog post, 3 or 4 blog posts in September, 3 or 4 blog posts in October, 3 or 4 blog posts in December, right? You're training Google, come back, I've got new stuff. So it's better to be consistent and to dribble that content out over time than it is to do it in one big lump, right? It's the same as with our Labrador puppy, right? We don't give him all his treats in one huge treat. No, we say do this, little treat, do this, little treat, do this, little treat. Same thing. So it's much better to dribble that content out over time in a very systematic way. That also goes for YouTube. It's better not to upload 17 videos in one blast. It's better to consistently be updating YouTube content over time. Consistency is more important than the big splurge.
Okay, this person says, I'm often asked how many phrases a site can be optimized for. Do you have any general guidelines regarding this?
Yes, so I would, sort of basic principles, right? So let's look at Progressive. It's a really well done site. Just, you want to become a Google detective. So notice homepage. Just let me go down here and I'll show you homepage, and then stop. Look at it from a content perspective. Homepage, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 major clickable links. Do you see that? And then look over here, more choices. Okay, now let's look. Homepage, 1 click to auto, landing page on auto. Homepage, 1 click to motorcycle, landing page on motorcycle. Now let's look at those guys. Auto, home, motorcycle, boat, truck, or commercial. Look down here at their navigation. Auto, homeowners, renters. They don't have 65 links here. They have about 7, of which maybe 5 or 6 are really keyword centric, right? Homepage, 1 click to more choices. My favorite, segue. So the structure of the site is communicating to Google. There's really about 5 critical words that really are really important to us. And yeah, we have these other ones, but they're not as important. So this is a site that is really talking to Google very systematically. Now, notice homepage, auto. First one on the left, correct? First one on the left. Right click, view page source. Let's look at the title tag of the home page. Control F to find it. Car insurance. Notice that it doesn't say motorcycle, doesn't say RV, does not say Segway. So the home page says to Google, we really care about car insurance quotes. The first big clickable link, car insurance, right? So to your question, I would say most businesses, about 5 really core keyword phrases, 5 to 10 maybe. You've got to prioritize. Car insurance is the top priority of Progressive. Commercial is the 5th. Segway is the 12th. So there's definitely an art to choosing less is more, being focused, about 5, but also what I teach in the class is really good structure. Homepage, landing pages, just a few, secondary content moved off, site navigation, clearly talking to Google. It's very much about focus and consistency. And I would say about 5 to 10 anchor phrases for any business. Not 500, 5 to 10 anchors is how that works.
Okay, let's see. Should your internal/external links be in the keywords throughout your blog, or should you link the words "click here" instead?
Okay, so this is a little bit more of a nuanced question, and we live in a post-Penguin world, right? So Google rolls out these updates to the algorithm, and they name them generally after animals in the zoo. So penguin, panda, hummingbird, those were sort of the bigger ones that they rolled out. Penguin, right? And if you've never heard of this and you don't believe me, you go and put into Google penguin update, and you'll read, Nerds Gone Wild, and you'll read about this penguin update. Now, here's the deal about the penguin update, which was a big change. Big, 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 big change in the way that you do SEO. So internally, your own links on your own website, right? Your own website should have optimized links. Notice how it's homepage and then the phrase motorcycle insurance. Look, insurance, insurance, insurance. Be a Google detective. Why all the insurance? They're not trying to just get to the top of auto or homeowners. They're trying to get to the top of auto insurance, homeowners insurance. And notice how the phrase renter's insurance is the link. That's called link sculpting. And you want to be very consistent on your own website and not click here. Motorcycle insurance, renter's insurance, right? You want to be very, very, very consistent. Let me look at my site, homepage. Now I have some learn mores, but notice here, AdWords Expert Witness, and the phrase itself is the link. That's your own site. Very consistent. External links to you do not want completely consistent links because they penalize you. If I had 60,000 links to my website that all said AdWords Expert Witness, that would be called an unnatural link profile, and you'd get in trouble for that. So your external links, which again, if you don't know a lot about SEO at this point, don't worry. In the class, we'll talk about this. So internal links, consistent, right, on the phrase, right, internal. External links, variety. And this is because Google will penalize you if you're too perfect externally. So you want 1/3 branded links, right? Which in my case as a person would be blah, 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 blah. Jason McDonald is so awesome. And the word Jason McDonald, that phrase is the link. It could be blah, 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 Joe's Pizza, blah, 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 Home Depot. That's a branded link. And the phrase Home Depot is the link. About 1/3 what we call naked links. A naked link is http jasonmcdonald.org. That's a naked link, and the http is the link. And then about 1/3 optimized links, which would be in my case things like AdWords Expert, SEO Expert, etc. This is so that if somebody Googles Bay Area SEO experts, right, I want to show at the top. See how I show at the top? That's optimized on SEO Expert. So your kind of rule of thumb here, and it's very important, this is new since Penguin, very consistent on internal links. External links, variety, diversity, natural link footprint. Those two work together. This used to be all just optimized, different. For those who are really gluttons for punishment, there's a very new book out called Art of SEO, and if you think that the Google, the new one is the yellow one, if you think that the Google Guide is a sleep aid, this puppy, I have it. It's like 600 pages. It's by the three super nerds of the industry. It's a very good book, very technical. In the book, and I've been slogging through it, right? In the book, they make a big deal about link sculpting and being consistent. This is called link sculpting, and I completely agree with them. You want to be very consistent internally. Externally, you want diversity, and that's a very nuanced view of SEO, but very, very important to success.
Oops. Okay. How often should you check rank on Rank Checker?
For most small businesses, their ranks don't vary dramatically, so I would say once a month is what I recommend. We do that for our own clients, so we run reports once a month. What are we doing well on? What are we doing poorly on? Then we kind of architect what's our blog strategy for the month. What are we going to do in terms of press releases? What are we going to do in terms of link building? So about once a month for most small businesses is sufficient. The rank doesn't change that dramatically in most industries. It's about a month is proper. A few industries you might change more rapidly, but I would say those are pretty rare. About once a month is usually very good metric.
Okay, and is there an SEO benefit to having Google Plus collections created by your business profile?
Probably not. So again, if you don't really know, let's just talk for a second about Google Plus. So Google Plus Local is very valuable. And what that is, I'll show you here. I always cross-link to it. So on my Google Plus Local page for my personal consulting business, right, I post to it, and I have quite a few good reviews. Those are really important to pushing you to the top of Google. Local. So if local matters to you, Google Plus is incredibly important. If local doesn't matter to you, you sell industrial fans, not a big thing, doesn't really matter. Now, Google Collections hasn't done really well because nothing's doing well. Collections is a way for a person who's on Google Plus, like myself as a person, I can't even get it to show, to create a collection of stuff. It's sort of like Pinterest, but on Google. I haven't seen any real benefit to this. They just don't promote this stuff enough. So they put it out there and it's not doing well because no one even knows it exists. So the Google Plus collections I would not worry about. The 95% of benefit from Google Plus is local and reviews. That's huge if you're local. If you're not local, it's the sad, pathetic social media that is not succeeding. Any more questions?
Okay, that does conclude our questions. So do you want me to go ahead and wrap us up?
Sure. Wrap us up. Okay. Tell them we're going to send all their stuff and go tackle their boss and take the class.
Okay, well, thank you, Jason. That does conclude today's webinar training. Be sure to check your inboxes later on today for the link and the PowerPoint materials to the recorded version of today's webinar. So our first class in our SEO series begins September 22nd. It's going to begin at 9:30 a.m. Pacific time, 12:30 p.m. if you're on the East Coast. It's going to be on keywords. You can sign up for the classes by visiting our website. The information is on the screen. You'll get that special discount, that 10% discount, if you sign up today. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us. Our contact info is also on the screen. Thanks again, Jason, for a great session. See you all next time and have a great day, everybody.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.